This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about DML statements. So we have to understand what exactly DML statement, how to perform the DML operations on the object records through Apex programming. So upon performing the DML operations in Salesforce through Apex programming, what are the various ways that we have, and then how to use those ways to perform the DML operations. And while performing the DML operations on your object records, what kind of governor limits has been imposed by Salesforce? How to overcome those governor limits? And what kind of best practices we used to follow in order to overcome the governor limits we have discussed? And then we'll see how to use each DML statement, what is the syntax, how to perform the operations through programming or on the one record or see multiple records. We'll see with the practical use cases. Now, so now tell me, what do you mean by DML? DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. So DML stands for Data Manipulation Language. Then what do you mean by data manipulation language? Data means what? Manipulation means what?
System understand language.
In Salesforce. In Salesforce, data means what? Records. Data means records. Now, manipulations means what? Performing operations. Okay, performing operations on those records. Now, so in this case, as of now in Salesforce, we have so many objects, including standard, including custom, so many objects available in Salesforce. Now, once the objects are ready, then we can manage the records inside those objects. That means we can create some new records, we can modify the existing records, we can delete some unused records, we can restore the deleted records, we can merge some multiple duplicate records into a single record. Like that, we can perform so many operations. Those operations will be called as manipulations. Now, so whenever if you want to perform some operations on the records, then we are using the help of DML, okay, statements. As part of this DML statements allows us to perform the operations on your Salesforce object records. Now here you can raise a question, sir, why you are going for DML statements? Why can't we go with the help of normal page layouts? Through page layout also we can create the records, we can modify, we can delete, we can restore, we can view, we can do all the things. Or else we can use the help of a tool called as a data loader. Through data loader also we can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can do all these things. What is the specialty of this DML statement, especially in Apex programming? So whenever we are using the normal page layout allows us to perform the operations on how many records at a time? Only one. We can insert only one record at a time. We can update only one record at a time. We can delete only one record at a time, not multiple. That is a problem. So, if the number of records are more to insert, if the number of records are more to update, to delete, then it will take more time. It will be a time consuming mechanism. So to avoid that problem, we can go with the help of Apex programming. Now, here you can raise a question, sir, we can do this one through data loader also. Yes, of course you can do. But in data loader, we have few limitations. So what are those limitations? Through data loader, how many objects we can interact at a time? Only one. Data loader can insert or update or delete the records in only one object. But through Apex programming, with the help of this DML statements, not only inserting the record in one object, we can insert multiple related records also in one shot. In one go, we can insert parent record and the related child records also. Like I want to insert account record and the related contacts, related opportunities, related cases, everything we can insert in one go as part of Apex programming. That is a specialty. And in this case here, how to perform these DML operations. Okay, now let's see. Whenever we are performing the operations on the records through Apex programming, in Apex programming we have two ways are available. Apex provides two ways to perform the DML operations on your object records. First one by using DML statements. Okay, first one by using DML statements. Second one by using database class methods. Database class methods. During our SQL queries also, we have used the database class like database.query method, database.count query method. We have used database class. Now, database is a ready-made class given by Salesforce which contains all the methods to interact with your Salesforce objects through programmatically, and we can perform all the DML operations as well. So we can insert, we can update, we can delete, we can undelete, we can merge, we can do all the things through database class methods. But there are some differences here. Upon performing the DML operation through DML statements, okay, upon performing the DML operation by using database class methods, both are having few differences. In DML statements, we have few drawbacks are available. To overcome these drawbacks, we can use the help of database class methods. But both are important. Both are important as part of implementation. In some cases, we have to use the DML statements. In some cases, we have to use database class methods. So both are important over here. So in that case, what are those DML statements that we have? What are those database class methods that we have? We'll see one by one. Okay? Now, make a note of this one. Salesforce provides a collection of objects, a collection of standard objects as part of Salesforce CRM, which are used to store the data related to sales, service, and marketing. And the developer can create their own custom objects based on the need. Now, by using DML operations, we can perform the operations on one or more records inside the objects. Now, we can perform the operations on a single record or multiple records. and we can manage the records in multiple related objects at a time. Apex provides the below two ways to perform the DML operations on the object records. First one, by using DML statements. Second one, by using database class methods. Now let's see. Apex provides the below six DML statements to be used to perform the operations on the records. First one, insert. Second one, update. Third one, delete. Fourth one, undelete. Fifth one, upsert. Sixth one, merge. These are the six DML statements. Next. So as part of this DML operations, in order to perform the DML operation, the first way is DML statements. Then, so these are the 6 DML statements that we have in Apex programming. But while performing the DML operations on the object records through these DML statements, there are few side effects. That means some limitations are also available. To overcome those limitations, we can use the help of database class methods. Basically, database is a ready-made class. It's a built-in class given by Apex programming by default. It's a built-in class given by Apex programming by default, which is used to interact with your Salesforce objects through programming. Through programmatically, if you want to interact with your Salesforce objects, it may be through standard object or custom objects also. To perform some DML operations, we can use the help of database class. So, to perform the operations on your object records, it may be insertion, it may be updation, deletion, undeletion, merging the records, whatever anything to perform the operations on your object records, whatever the methods are required, all the methods are available ready-madely in this database class. So, database class provides a collection of static methods. It provides a collection of static methods. Static methods means what? How can we access them? Hmm. How to access the static methods? Class name dot method name. We no need to create any object of the class. Directly by using class name dot method name, we can access those static methods. So in this database class, we are having some collection of static methods which we can use to perform the DML operations on your object records. Okay. Now, so in this case, while performing the DML operations by using either DML statements or database class methods also. Here you can raise a question. Sir, within a single program, can we use both the DML statements and database class methods? Yes, you can mix together whatever you want. One operation through DML statement, one operation through database class methods, everything we can mix together, no issues. Okay. Now, in this case, upon using this DML statements inside your Apex programming, Salesforce introduced few governor limits. They have imposed few governor limits upon performing DML operations. You know, in the previous sessions also we have discussed. Now tell me, within a single transaction, how many DML statements that we can use? 150, right? So now within a single transaction, we can use maximum of 150 DML statements. That is the first governor limit. The first governor limit is within a single transaction, we can use maximum of 150 DML statements, which will be all maybe insert also, all maybe update, all maybe delete, or combination of both also. It may be some operations are DML statements, some operations are database class methods also. Everything will be combined. So in this case, whenever we are trying to be using more than 150 DML statements within a single transaction, Salesforce will raise an exception, which is system.limit exception. Too many DML statements, 151 exception will be getting arised. So during the collections concept, I have given this example also to you. So to avoid this problem, I have used a feature called as bulkification. Instead of performing the operations on each record separately, we have used bulkification mechanism. Now, in this case, the first governor limit is upon using DML statements, we can use maximum of 150 DML statements per transaction, not more than that. That is the first governor limit. Second governor limit is upon processing the records through these DML statements, each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records at a time, not more than that. Each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records, not more than that. That is a limitation here. These are the two governor limits are available as part of your Apex program. Okay, now to overcome these governor limits, we used to follow a few best practices. The first one, whenever we are trying to be performing the DML operations on the object records, don't write any DML statements inside the for loop. Always avoid the usage of DML statements inside the for loop, write always outside. Okay, write the DML statements always outside the for loop. Why? Because if I'm writing the DML statements inside the for loop, if the for loop is repeating for till 150 times, then fine. Because we have 150 DML statements per transaction. Suppose if the for loop is repeating for more than 150 times, then automatically at the time of 151st time, it will be hitting the governor limit. It will be cancelling all the previous operations automatically. For that reason, don't write any DML statements inside the for loop. Always you have to write outside. This is the first best practice. Second one, whenever we are performing the DML operations on multiple records, upon performing the DML operations on multiple records, always follow bulkification mechanism. Please follow bulkification mechanism or bulkify mechanism in order to perform the operations on bulk records inside your object. It may be two records also, three records also, whatever, we can go with bulkification mechanism always. Okay, clear? Now, make a note of this one. Apex provides a built-in class called as database, which can be used to interact with the database objects through programming, and we can perform the operations on Salesforce subject records. It provides a collection of static methods to be used to perform the DML operations as below. First one, database dot insert, database dot update, database dot delete, database dot undelete, database dot upsert, database dot match, database dot empty recycle bin. Like that, we are having so many methods are available here. We have so many methods in the database class, but related to our DML operations, these are the methods. Governor limits. First one, we can use maximum of 150 DML statements within a single transaction. If the user tries to use more than 150 DML statements, then Apex runtime will throw an exception system dot limit exception Too many DML statements 151. Too many DML statements 151. Second one, each DML statement can process maximum of 10,000 records. Now the best practices. Always avoid the usage of DML statements inside the for loop. Second one, always follow the bulkification mechanism while performing the DML operations. Done with this? Next. So upon performing the DML operations and the object records through programming, these are the various DML statements that we have. We have 6 DML statements are available. We have 7 methods are available as part of database class. And these are the various governor limits and the best practices we used to follow. So let's start with the first DML statement, that is insert. So we have to understand what exactly insert statement, what is the use, how to insert the records inside the object through programming. We'll see one by one. This process already we know. Previously we have discussed how to insert the records as well. But let me give you the syntaxes also here. Now, so what is the use of insert statement? Basically, insert statement is used to insert either one record or multiple records inside your Salesforce object. With the help of this insert statement, we can insert either one record or multiple records in your Salesforce object at a time. Now, upon inserting the records inside the object, we have to pass a value for all the mandatory fields. So, whatever the mandatory fields or required fields that we have in your object, for those fields, we need to supply the values. Now, in this case here, in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, whenever I'm inserting the record by using this insert statement, if we have any automation rules on our object, will those automation rules will fire? Like for example, workflow rules also, sharing rules also, formulas also, roll-up summaries also. Will these things will fire? Yes, automatically. Whenever we are inserting the record inside the object, before insertion, all the validation rules will be getting executed. After insertion, all the automation rules will get fired. So, whatever the object in which we have inserted the records, on that object, if there is any flows are available, it will fire automatically. If there is any roll-up summary fields are available, if there is any formulas are available, sharing rules are available, workflow rules are available, anything, whatever it might be, all these things will be getting fired automatically by default. So that here it will fire all the automation rules which we have on our Salesforce object records. Now, so in this case, how can we insert the record inside the object? Okay, now let's see. Let me give you the syntax also here. Okay, now make a note of this syntax. By using this statement, we can insert either one or more records inside the Salesforce object. We can insert either one or more records inside the Salesforce object. While inserting the records, we have to supply the value, all the required fields in the object. As Salesforce will fire all the validation rules available on the object. Once a record has been inserted successfully, then Salesforce will fire All the automation rules available on the object. By using this statement, we can insert related records also inside the objects. Now, let's see the syntax. Insert only one record. If we are inserting only one record, simply we can specify insert the record reference name. Inserting multiple records. Then we can specify insert collection name where exactly the records has been placed. Third one, by using database class method, how to insert. In that case, we have to use database start insert method. Here we have to pass the collection name where exactly the records has been placed, and the second one a boolean parameter which returns the result in the form of database dot save result array. This is the syntax. Let's see how can we use insert statement inside your Apex programming to insert a record inside the object. Now my requirement is I would like to use this insert statement to insert a lead record. I want to insert a lead record inside my lead object. So once the lead record has been inserted, immediately I would like to insert a related task record also. I would like to insert a related task record also. These are the two records, lead record and the task record. So basically, task and the event, these two are comes under activities part. Activities part. In order to add some reminders, alerts, okay, we are using the help of task and the events. Now, in this case here, task object is already related with lead because whenever we are creating a new Salesforce object, upon creating a new Salesforce object, we are entering some details in the form. Like we are giving singular name of that object, plural name also, description also. Then we are going to the optional features section. In that optional features section, we are selecting four checkboxes like allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in chatter groups. Four checkboxes we are selecting. From that one, the second one, allow activities. Whenever we are selecting this allow activities checkbox, automatically Salesforce will be mapping the relation of your custom object with task and event automatically here. Okay, that is a functionality. You no need to map the relation between these objects manually. Upon creating the custom object, if you are selecting allow activities checkbox, automatically Salesforce will map the relation of your custom object with task and event automatically. The task and event will be the childs for your custom object. Your custom object will be the parent, task is the child. Now here also, as part of this lead object here, I would like to create a new lead record. Inside the lead record, okay, along with the lead, I want to create a related task record also over here. Then how can we create the related task record? Okay, now let's see. Now, as part of this task object, we have a field called as whoid field. We have a field called as whoid field. In this whoid field, we have to pass the ID of the lead record. Whatever the lead record ID is available, we have to pass to the whoid field of your task object over here. Okay, then automatically it will map this task record with this particular lead by default. This is a relationship field. Now let's see how can we do that. Now let's see. Take a small use case. Write an Apex program to insert a lead record and a related task record inside the object. I want to create a new lead record inside my lead object along with a related task record also. Done with this? Now let's see. I'm going to my Salesforce org now. So now I'm selecting my Salesforce org. I'm going to the developer console. I'm creating a new class with the name DML helper. All the DML operation related methods I would like to place in this class. I'm preparing a method public static void insert lead record. Insert lead record. Now, I would like to write the piece of code to insert a new lead record inside my object. You know how to insert the lead records already, you know that here. Same procedure. LD lead record, LD record equals to new lead. I'm creating the object of this lead class. Then we can supply the value. LD record dot first name. I'm giving the name as some Abhishek. LD record dot last name. I'm giving that name as Verma. Company. I'm giving this company name as some Wipro Technologies. Title. I'm giving the name as he's a project lead. Status. I'm passing the value like as working contacted. Lead record dot rating. I'm giving the value as hot. Lead record dot industry. I'm giving this value as a manufacturing. Annual revenue, some 26 lakhs. Lead record dot phone. I'm giving the value lead record dot fax. Lead record dot email. I'm giving as Abhishek at the rate some gmail.com. Lead record dot lead source. That is some web. Lead record dot website. I'm passing the value. Lead record dot street. I'm giving that street address here, flat number 207, some Rama Residency, BTM layout, phase 2. City, some Bangalore. State, Karnataka. Country, some India. Postal code, I'm passing the value. Now, then I'm inserting the lead record. This is the lead record creation here. Now I would like to check the condition. If lead record dot ID not equals to null, then I would like to show the confirmation. System.debug lead record inserted successfully and the record ID is I would like to show lead record.id. Okay. So now I have written some piece of code in order to insert a new lead record. Okay. So once a lead record has been created successfully, immediately I want to create a related task record also. To create the task record, I want to prepare one more method. Now that method I would like to call from this first method here. That means I want to implement chaining mechanism. Okay, chaining mechanism. Generally, when you go to the chaining mechanism, how it will look like, you will be having the first method. Then first second chain will be second link will be available. Third link will be available here. Fourth link will be available. Like that here, we are having a chaining. So the first method can call the second one can call the third one will call the fourth one will call the fifth one, like that, your number of links you can able to have. Now, so whatever the task record that I'm going to create, the task record should be associated with this particular lead. For that one, upon creating that method, I need to pass this lead record ID. Because this lead record ID, we have to place inside that who ID field here. Now, so that I'm preparing the second method. Public static void create create task record. It requires a lead record ID here, ID. So that I'm having a parameter here. I'm having a parameter of type ID. So, so once a lead record has been inserted successfully, immediately I would like to call the method. I would like to call the method. How can we call create a task record? Here we have to pass ID. What ID you want to pass? Lead record ID. Simply we are passing the lead record ID. Lead record dot ID. That's it. In this case, what will happen? Whatever the lead record that we have inserted, we are collecting the idea of the lead record. We are passing to this method. Now the method will be getting invoked. Lead record ID will be coming into this variable. From there, we can able to create the related task record. Now, let's check the condition over here. I would like to check if lead record ID is not equals to null, because this is the ID value. Compare with only null. Don't compare with empty. That already told you here. If it is a string variable, compare with both string empty and null both. Numerical values, decimal values, date values, ID values, compare with only with null. Don't compare with empty. Now, if the lead record ID is not null, lead record ID is available, then I would like to create a task record. Task, some tsk equals to new task. I'm creating the object of the task class. Now I would like to specify the subject. Now, tsk dot task subject regarding system allocation. Task description. Now, I would like to specify, dear prospect, already we have raised a ticket. Network administrator team to allocate a system for you with the required software installations. Please follow up with the people, with the network administrator team or admin team. and get the system ready by tomorrow. This is the description here. This is the task description. Task priority. I'm giving as high priority. Task status. I'm indicating in progress. Task activity date. That means the due date. We need to specify the due date. I'm giving system dot today dot add days of 2. That means from today onwards, I'm giving 2 days of time over here so that they should follow up with that admin team to make the system ready. Now I want to make this a task to be related with the lead here. Relate the task to the lead record. For that one, we are using tsk.whoid. Here I'm passing lead record ID, then insert the task record. I would like to check the condition here. If the tsk.id not equals to null, I would like to show the message task record has been assigned to the lead record. I want to show the task record ID. That's it. Okay. So two methods I have prepared. Both the methods I have made it as link. So now I would like to call this insert lead record method. Whenever I'm invoking this method is going to be creating a new lead record with this details whatever we have supplied. Once a lead record has been invoked, that means inserted successfully, then it will show the confirmation message and immediately it will be calling that second method to create a related task record. Whatever the lead record ID that we have, lead record ID, we are passing to this create a task record method as input. Now, based on that lead record ID, it will create a new task record. The task will be assigning to that lead automatically by default over here. Okay. Now let's see how can we do this. Let me invoke this method. DML helper dot insert lead record. Click on execute. My request has been sent to the server. Select the debug only. Lead record also inserted. Task record also inserted. Both are inserted. But I want to check whether these two are independent or related. I want to check it out. Let me go back to my lead object now. Check for the lead record, that is Abhishek Verma. This is the record which we have created. Click on the record. Now go to the details tab. We can see the recorded details. Whatever the details we have entered, with the same details, a new lead record has been created successfully. When you go to that activity tab, here we can able to see what activities has been assigned. This is a new task has been assigned to the user over here. We can expand and we can see the task details. You have an upcoming task over here. It is indicating regarding system allocation task subject over here. This is the task description. Whatever the task description we have given, it will be indicating. We have given high priority. That's what it is indicating, a red color flag symbol. Now the red color flag symbol is indicating this is a high priority task. So please work on this task first, so that we can able to represent this details also. It is giving the time over here. 7th Jan is the last date over here to complete this. Okay, 7th Jan will be the last date here. because we have given 2 days of time from today onwards. So today is 5th. The next day will be the 7th will be the targeted to complete this task. Okay. That's what it is indicating. You have an upcoming task. That means this is not okay already completed here. This is upcoming. That means within next 2 days you have to complete this. Clear? Now. So this is how we can insert the parent record along with the related child records inside the object through DML statements. Okay. Now, next one. And then we have few more DML statements we'll see in the next session. In the next section, we'll continue with the remaining DML statements one by one, like as a delete statement, undelete, and then update statement, upsert, merge, all these things we'll see. Then we will move forward to that database class methods. Okay. The next session will be on Monday again at normal timings over here. Okay. This weekend we don't have the sessions. Next session will be on Monday again at normal timing 7 o'clock. Okay. Now, thank you.